Yo, this is Hellraiser, and this is a high-level gameplay on Orbital in Team Slayer, roughly at about level 45. The first thing I do is grab the bubble shield, and since I see that I'm the first one that's going to be the rockets, and I took a slightly longer approach, I know they're going to get him first. Let him grab him, and I let this guy blow himself up. How embarrassing. Yeah, so if you spawn in the blue base like that, and you know you're not going to get rockets first, which is usually the case in my experience, you have options. I tried to push up and grab those rockets and use them via the regen, but it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Fortunately, my teammates got a hold of them, and now we have control of the balcony, and are trying to force them further back through the box hallway. This guy shouldn't have been pushed up while he was one shot like that. I don't know how I failed to kill him there, but I see a guy down here trying to flank us. If you're spawning red base, I don't think it's a very good idea to try to flank, because you've got lower ground and people are looking over you from the balcony. You can actually throw the power drainer up that spawns down there, but that'll only get you so far usually. Now we're pushing up into red base, and that's where most of the fighting is gonna happen on this map. Most of it's gonna happen from balcony to red base, and sometimes people spawn blue base and charge up, but for the most part, that's how it's gonna happen. I threw a drainer up there to cut their team in half and to assist my teammates, and it worked out pretty well. As you can see, our score goes up. Goes from 9 to 11. So there's little things you can do like that that assist your team big time. There's definitely more to high-level Slayer than just getting a bunch of kills. And right there, that's why you don't want to cluster together. 3 people just got teabagged at once. And the teabag's more than just being an arrogant asshole. It's about getting people pissed off so that they play recklessly. Now, I actually have only 1 kill so far in this gameplay, and about 2 or 3 deaths, something like that. But you know, note that you don't necessarily always have to be getting huge amounts of kills to really make a difference in the game. You know, that drainer that I threw earlier, getting that guy to lose his rockets, that actually counted as a suicide, not a kill for me. Things like that can just make a huge difference in helping your entire team gain possession of key areas of the maps and weapons. You know, equipment is pretty big in Team Slayer. I'm actually not much of a fan of equipment, but you know, I'll use it because if you don't, they will. You know, that's the way I look at it. I'm just waiting this guy out. I don't think he realized that he'd had a teammate helping shoot at me, because he kept running. I didn't realize he had a friend right there, so I decided to stay hidden. And just from staying alive, you can get a lot accomplished, because now we can overwhelm them. They were able to hold their ground momentarily, but because I didn't die, once I recovered, we can push back up, and now there's just a few of them respawning at the balcony, and I decided to back off because freshly spawned people usually throw grenades. And as you can see by my radar, there's a guy down there at sniper, and we got more people coming from over here, so their team's cut into 2 right now, which it's a good. When a team's cut in 2, you want to try and capitalize and take advantage. And now chances are that they're spawning red because we took out their people that were over in blue. It's all about keeping track of where they're at and just trying to control the situation. You know, if you have their team split into 2, you want it to be because you're splitting them into 2, and you want to exercise control of that and be aggressive enough to pounce on one of the split up teams on your terms. You don't want it to be, oh look, there's 2 groups of them and they're putting us into a pincher attack or something like that. And like I said, most of the fighting here happens through the balcony and through red base, this here being red base. Now you can expect people lingering around this area to drop a regen. And unfortunately we got a little too aggressive and paid for it big time. You'll note though that throughout most of this gameplay we're mostly sticking in groups of 2. My whole team's pushing up, and personally in Team Slayer, or even MLG itself, where you can hear what's going on, you can see through radar, I don't really like to run in a cluster of 4 with my whole team. You know, I'm more like sticking in groups of 2 or flanking by myself, which if you're gonna flank by yourself, you'd better have a damn good VR to do it. I didn't realize there were 3 of them right there, and that's why I pushed up like that. I was lucky enough to come away with a kill. That nade made me choke on my VR. We've got a pretty damn good lead though. Overall we did a pretty good job at controlling this entire game and getting things to move the way we wanted them to. You know, now we're flanking them, and that's why too, if you find yourself as a whole team working against only 2 people, you've got to finish them off quickly. You don't want to get flanked, particularly on this map. That's all.